in a minute. Adam,
Yeah.
how much of this do you sell?
Yeah, well, you can buy all of it. So if there's any piece of that you'd like to buy. So, I think that DevOps and even Agile in the government, so especially before they included security as part of the equation, was much more in the way of making better shelfware faster, right? Because you would build an application or a piece of functionality, but without the inclusion of security, you were looking at an ATO that was going to be years long, possibly, as you figured out how to retrofit those evil security controls back onto sort of your brainchild. And so I think it was really inevitable that security get engaged with and become part of sort of the pipeline, and it really has to be at its inception. And so we were talking earlier about, that may be that ATO process, maybe the only time you get all of the different teams into the same room at the same time to have those conversations. And so obviously that's a significant cultural shift. It's a very big change if that's the first time DevOps, security, and really the platform ops or the hosting organization all get together. So I think with that being said, it goes without saying that no, this isn't a change that you can roll out across your entire organization all at once. And so at Red Hat, what we find is that we take small teams of developers and we try to get them offsite, we try to get them out of sort of their comfort zone and work with some requirements to build an MVP, a minimally viable product. And do that in a way that emulates a DevOps pipeline, or at least in a DevOps pipeline out of their data center. And so we take those requirements from their organization and we try to send them back with something they can use in their organization. And we have sort of a push button infrastructure capability where we can say, okay, you're going to use Jenkins and maybe we've got Fortify or something similar, and we're going to have a platform that you deploy to. But I think what's important to understand about that innovation lab is that it's done in a very small team so that we can really instill all of those practices into that team in sort of a dojo style, right? Getting back to sort of the lean manufacturing. And I like to say that DevOps is really the collision or combination of agile software development and Kaizen, right? So if you think about sort of that elimination of waste and the inclusion of everybody in that. So we take these teams and we teach them all these practices and we show them how to build it. And we send them back into their organization where they begin to proselytize the practices and the capabilities that are then available to them. And I think you have to start small, right? I mean, you couldn't have taken every application all at once and done all this because it's impossible to learn when you try to do all that. And really this process is about, whether you want to call it a OODA loop or whatever metric you have for observing and learning and pivoting based on those observations from a cultural perspective.